You see how I don't give a fuck what people think? Bitch, you need to do the same thing. Fuck what the fuck they think. Put the motherfucking wig on, bitch. Go bullheaded if you want, bitch. Do you. You heard?
Hey, family. It's a good week to have a good week. Welcome. Ooh, your girl is tired. Welcome. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. Welcome home. This is going to be a Monday quickie, right? You guys know that I do my best to do a little quickie on Mondays. We are not going to be having Carlos' show today because there was no Hit Real Housewives. And so as a collective, we took today off. So I'm going to do a quick 90-minute quickie, and then we're going to watch Love Island and see what in the hell is going on. Before you guys even ask, number one, for those who saw my post, yes, I was on Access Hollywood today. I literally just got home like 15 minutes ago from Access Hollywood. Did a really fun segment with Mario Lopez, Zuri Hall, and Segun, who was on the panel with me. It was a thing called Group Chat. We had a great conversation. It was so fun. It went by so quickly. And because I moved to LA to be a talk show host and had 6 weeks of my own talk show that never saw the light of day, different story time, doing stuff like this on camera is like my wheelhouse. One of my friends was like, "Are you nervous?" And I was like, "Absolutely the fuck not." I was so comfortable. That me and the glam squad were cackling backstage up until the second when they called me up, because it was like, oh, this is what I'm meant to do. And we had a great conversation. And it's so funny because a couple people there recognized me from Joe Budden. And the gag is Access Hollywood wanted me to show up a month ago. It just so happened they wanted me to come the same weekend that I was going to be in New York to do Joe Budden. So that's just a reminder that sometimes when you get an opportunity and the timing is off, it might come back around. So shout out to Ricarda and everybody there. They were so awesome. To be really honest, as someone who's worked in the news, I prefer stuff like Access Hollywood to stuff like CNN. I've also appeared on CNN before, but this feels so much lighter and more airy. And I'm gonna be honest, guys, it made me miss y'all. Like, it made me miss like the kind of banter that we have here on Bluecentric Live. Today, we're not going to do a 15-minute intro. We're going to jump right into the hot topic since we have limited time. And we're going to start with Corbin. For those of you who are in the 40% who don't know what's happening, because the way the show goes is 60% of you come in here understanding what's going on, and 40% of you come in here having no clue what's happening, but you're just here to have fun with us and be a part of the family. So for the 40% who are not watching Love Island, I slightly envy you. Last night, Corbin got voted off. Yeah. We lost CorbinGPT and yeah. Oh, you missed me last week. We're gonna be back next week. Don't worry. I'll be back next week with Carlos. Corbin is gone, and I think, and I've said this before in threads, Corbin proves my theory that there is something begrudgingly charismatic about consistency. And you guys know I'm always talking about how integrity means consistency of character. When you are just you, no matter what goes on in life, even people who don't like you can't help but subconsciously and begrudgingly respect it. I can't tell you how many times in my life people have said, "Blue, I'm not sure I like you, but you a real ass bitch." And honestly, I'm okay with that. I think Corbin is in that same vein of love him or loathe him. I don't think anybody loathes Corbin, unless, well, some of y'all are a little imbalanced. But love him or loathe him, you gotta respect that Corbin was Corbin to the very end. Okay, y'all called him a robot, and yes, I do think the cast calling him a robot is a perfect example of how the producers are feeding them what's happening in the robot. We're going to get into the conspiracy theories in a second. And for anybody who's wondering about the rumors about Ace and Shelly falling out because Ace allegedly slept with Adriana from season 7, we will be talking about that towards the end of the show. But first, let's start with Corbin. Oh, CorbinGPT and Parmida. Parmida, you was a real ass bitch. I'm so sad.
All right. No, I'm not all right, Mike. 3 days of this shit got my nerves all rattled.
That was my nigga, though. What am I supposed to do? That was my nigga.
People are, y'all don't understand. When Corbin was crying, this scene, when Corbin cried, because a lot of times when people are consistent, one of the things people don't realize is you can be consistent and still be human, right? Folks think you're a robot when you're that consistent. We joke about him being a robot all the time. Seeing Corbin cry and say, "I'm going to really miss y'all. I'm going to miss seeing y'all every day." That was more sincere to me pun intended, than every scene I've ever seen between Bryce and Trinity combined. Corbin crying felt more sincere to me. In fact, I will say this. The only person in the villa, love them or loathe them, because we like to be fair here, regardless of if we like people or not. The only people in the villa whose tears I've ever found sincere were Melanie and Corbin, which is deeply ironic because the gag is Corbin was brought in for Melanie. A lot of us forget this. The producers brought Corbin in, and Corbin and Melanie instantly clicked, and then external factors pulled them away. And after that first impression was ruined, she could never open up her heart to him again. So a part of me wonders what would have happened if Corbin had a chance with Melanie. Because, well, actually, we're going to get to this in a second. Let's see the reaction to Corbin leaving, because honestly, it's probably one of the strongest reactions I've seen from anybody leaving.
Corbin, my pale brother in Christ, your contribution to the villa won't be forgotten. You will be remembered. Your jersey will be hanging in the Love Island rafters. Bro went on a generational run from the second he stepped foot in the villa. He brought life and energy into a villa full of people who were scared to explore. There was no such thing as a bad shot to this brother. He is the textbook definition of what a bombshell should be. Bro was in the villa spamming "Can I get a kisses" like Hezzies. Then when him and KC got together, it was like watching Brian and Kyrie play together for the first time. Magic was made. They went on a Casa run that Love Island ain't never seen. Watching those two say goodbye for the last time almost broke my heart, especially considering the fact that we got Kenzie and Zach still in the villa. And speaking of Zach, Kata's on to you. All your dirty deeds about to come to the light. I know Kata looking around that villa like ain't no way America picked two brand new couples over me and Zach, who've been around since day one. Sincere ass.
First of all, her and Zach were not around since day one. Kate, she wasn't even part of the OG cast. She was a bombshell her damn self. She came day 3. Here's the thing about Kata that breaks my heart is I've said this before. I love Kata by herself. I cannot stand Kata in this group. I enjoyed Trinity by herself. I cannot. Trinity gets on my last nerve in this group. This group makes me dislike these girls in a way that doesn't exist when they're by themselves and have free agency. So, yuck. Okay, Kata as a harbinger of chaos for the core 4, gross. Kata by herself, fun. And I think this shows a perfect example of how you are the company you keep, and how no matter who you are as a person, the company you keep can completely override that. If you are a dope person with lame friends, guess who's suddenly lame now?
Even made it through, and he the slimiest nigga in the villa. If this ain't enough to wake her up, she's just cooked. Also, not gonna lie, it warmed my heart to see KC and TiTi in that top 4.
Because from week number 1, it's very evident that Corbin was sent in for Melanie.
He literally was sent in for Melanie.
By production, but thanks to Beatrice, Sincere, and Kenzie, we never got to see this couple come to fruition.
Now, here's the reason we never got to see this couple come to fruition. We have to hold Melanie accountable because, I believe in accountability is gender neutral, right? Melanie was very interested in Corbin when he first came in, but she was also trying to spite Sincere. This is my perception. Oop, my water fell over. Hold on, because a bitch gotta stay hydrated. Hold on. That was God telling me to drink some water. You guys, I'm thinking about doing a members only live after this new episode of Love Island comes out, because I feel like the girls are about to piss me off today. Keep an eye out. I might do a live after today's episode comes out, before I take off my bra and get undressed and am gone for the day. But in my estimation, this is purely an opinion. I do know the difference between opinion and fact. A lot of people don't. My opinion, not a fact, is that when Melanie saw Corbin, all the girls were hella attracted to him, especially Melanie and Anaya. Because anybody that Melanie's attracted to, so was Anaya, child. That's a whole other conversation. Her attraction to Corbin was 40% of why she was drawn to him, and her desire to spite Sincere was 60%. So I believe her desire to spite Sincere was slightly louder than her attraction to Corbin, but her attraction to Corbin was significant enough, damn near almost half, where had that been cultivated, it could have been neck and neck, and Corbin might have had a chance to completely save her from Sincere and his fuckery, right? So 40% of her wanted Corbin, and 60% of her just wanted to talk to another boy to spite Sincere. Unfortunately for Melanie, though, the way she went about it was absolute trash. She iced out the girls. They had already agreed that Kenzie was going to get a chance, because this was back when Kenzie didn't have no white men to play with and was sad and acting like she, was a lone puppy. So they had all agreed that since Kenzie couldn't find a good man back then, that Kenzie was going to have first dibs. Melanie having her back to isolate the girls, which I still think is rude as hell. If I'm in a group setting and you turn your back to me, so I'm looking at the back of your head while everybody's talking to you, I think you're a bitch. When it comes to, I'm autistic, I do not pick up nonverbal social cues very easily. And yet, even with all my autism, the one thing that screams to me that you are rude, you want me to feel othered, you want me to not to be included, you want to assert dominance, and who the hell raised you, is to have me facing your back while you're talking to everybody else. So when Melanie did that donkey ass move and turned her back to all the girls that were behind her so that she could dominate Corbin, and Bea rightfully called her out on it, that reaction of Melanie blacking out and having to walk around and say, give me 10, give me 10, give me 10. I think that was the exact moment where any chance of Corbin and Melanie getting together completely died. At that moment, he was associated to that mess. Melanie could never again see him as a fresh opportunity. Right? And so it's unfortunate that something that was beyond all of them could have ruined it, but I do agree with those of you who are saying that if Melanie and Corbin had teamed up, they would have 100% won. Melanie with a guy like Corbin, oh my God. Trinity and Bryce would have been weeping into second or third place.
Melanie! I mean, Kenzie, your eyes, they're piercing through me, fuck.
There's a new fad now of people who love Corbin trying to master his CorbinGPT voice. Do you understand that Siri or Apple or somebody is going to have to hire this boy? As someone who was a marketing major before I decided, no, I'm going to go back to being a writer child. I don't want to sell cigarettes to kids. I still have a marketer's brain sometimes, and I'm always thinking about what's provocative to the marketplace. Corbin is a marketing dream. Of all the people on Love Island, he's the one that as a brand is the sexiest. He's a walking brand deal, more than anybody else on the island, including Trinity. So I just know that even though, and I think people were joking about this on Threads, even though Corbin left early, child, that boy's about to be rolling in money. And also he was already rolling in money because he was already one of those Miami business savvy young people. Oh, he's about to be so okay. That 50K that he did not win, he will make way more than that afterwards.
I got a text. I'm going back with somebody different, bro.
For those who are asking, the finale is actually on Sunday the 12th, which means even though Love Island has given me the ick for the whole second half ever since shit got mean and crazy, I will be doing something today. I might do an after show depending on how much energy I have. If I don't, I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow is Tarot Tuesday though, so tomorrow we'll be doing Tarot Tuesday. And then I will definitely be doing something Sunday night right after the finale. If I do something in between the week, either Wednesday or Friday, it depends. Thursday through Saturday, I'm taking a little staycation. I'm about to go somewhere. And for those who are saying he's colorist, you don't like him, then you don't like anybody. It means you don't like Anaya either. Most of the villa is colorist. That's fine. That's totally fine. Like calling somebody colorist on Love Island is like saying the sky is blue. Sure, that's valid if that's enough for you not to like him. In the sphere of the bullying, the meanness, the psychological lack of safety, the ganging up on, and all the nastiness, calling people out their name, of everything that I've seen, he is the least egregious. So I'm so okay with us disagreeing on this. If I had to choose someone in a sea of bullshit, Corbin is not as egregious as most of the rest of the cast. When you're watching Love Island and it's a season that's this bad, you got to choose your battles, right? You just got to.
Okay, last thing before I head to bed. Love Island producers, this is for you. Don't allow the Islanders to vote on which...
Literally everybody but KC and TiTi are in some shade show that they're colorist guys, by the way. So just know that it's okay to say that about Corbin, but it means you kind of have to hate everybody else too. Just pointing that out.
Couple to send home moving forward. We got a week left and the Islanders are just friends, so they're gonna always side with keeping their friend, even if that is not the best couple or person for their friend. So moving forward, don't let the Islanders choose who to keep. Leave that to us. Okay, bye.
And I genuinely think it's so funny how the one time that Kenzie is finally about to go home, Love Island USA decides to turn into Juilliard.
I am so annoyed by how sloppy, lazy, and heavy-handed the producer interruption to save Kenzie was last night. I was fuming about this yesterday on Threads. Let me see if I can pull up my threads. I was absolutely fuming because as someone who has a bunch of friends who have PTSD from being on reality TV, who I've talked my head off about how this works in real life, and as somebody who currently does a show with Carlos King, who is one of the most legendary reality TV show producers of all time, especially when it comes to anything involving Black people, I'm very clear. Hold on, let me make sure I look at my page. I'm very clear that last night was 1,000% only happened the way it happened because of the producers. Last night was not naturally supposed to happen. And I did a let me see. Where's the post I did yesterday? There we go. I'm going to pull this up real quick, guys. Share screen. There we go. I'm going to pull this young lady down for a second and pull this up. So this is my what I said yesterday. I said, producer number 1. Oh my God, they almost got rid of Kenzie last night. We can't lose any more white people. This is still America. What do we do? Producer number 2. Well, Kenzie can hold a decent note. Let's make this a karaoke comp tomorrow, and let's make it an immunity challenge. Why am I using Corbin's voice? Let's make it an immunity challenge. You've got a text, despite the fact that we haven't done this at all this season. And then producer number 1's like, yes, brilliant. Continuity be damned. Let's get rid of the sexy, mature couple who keeps pointing out how childish our faves are. You guys, I need you to understand, even though that was in jest, that is what happened last night. Because the only reason Kenzie was not voted out is because Kata and Zach as a duo are losers in the way that they move in the villa, even though I believe that Kata is a winner individually. I don't know anything about Zach. I'm not keeping for Zach. Don't ask me about Zach. But Kata has winner energy on her own. As a couple, it's a nosedive, right? So because they realized, oh my God, had Kata and Zach not been lame asses, we would have lost Kenzie and lost the white folks. We can't do that, especially not on the 250th birthday of America. Extra hard K, right? And so anybody, and this is the moment we all start to, I love how smart the team, and by the team I mean the family of the viewers who are trying to stay alive watching this horrible show. I love how smart you are because we all clocked it at the exact same moment. Everybody was doing karaoke, varying shades of awful, fun but awful. And then Kenzie comes on and you realize she sounds like a backup singer for a D-list artist, which means she's the Beyonce of karaoke, right? The worst of a background singer makes the best of a karaoke singer. And that's when we all together realize, wait a minute, y'all have heard Kenzie sing before. She's clearly the best singer in the fucking house. Are y'all really rigging this for Kenzie to win? Because it's obvious she has to win. It's obvious that Kenzie would win. Yes, it is DEI for white people. By the way, you don't have to say DEI for white people because the number one, look this up, guys. I did a video about it. The number one group of people who have benefited from DEI in America is white women. Look it up. The number one group of human beings who have benefited from DEI in America is white women. So you don't have to say DEI for white people. DEI is already for white women. Look it up. Everybody always disbelieves me when I say that until they Google it. Yeah. It was never us. So because DEI is already for Kenzie, Kenzie was just doing what Kenzie was supposed to do based on DEI. It's redundant to say DEI for a white woman because DEI is already built for white women. Just like for a very long time, the number one recipients of welfare were white women, and yet y'all thought they all looked like me. Because white women are white and yet still women, they tend to benefit the most heavily from things that are meant from people of color. Because technically they're still a minority despite being part of the majority. Thank you, it's been them. And for any white women who are watching this, well, if you're watching this, you're probably an ally, so you understand. I don't have to explain myself, right? So yeah, last night was some bullshit because it was clear that was done as a way to not only highlight Kenzie, but also keep her safe.
This is a performing arts school and Split saves lives. Like, be so for real. Be so for real right now. First off, Love Island has never, ever, ever done karaoke ever.
Nope.
Never done karaoke, but the karaoke also comes with choreo. And that so happens to be their saving grace. Production, I need y'all to be a little more discreet with y'all behaviors because that don't even make no sense. And everybody all
By the way, thank you guys. I love chartreuse. It's one of my favorite colors. Like I love like a minty neon yellowy green. It just makes me happy. I have random like items of chartreuse. Even my drapes in my living room are kind of chartreuse. Yeah, I don't know. It just makes me happy.
Up in arms talking about who voted for Sincere and Melanie. When I said close the villa, open the schools, I wasn't just talking about the Islanders.
She said close the villa, open the schools. Oh my God, that's a fucking bar. Oh my God, that is a bar. Close the villa, open the schools. That might be a t-shirt. That is kind of amazing.
People voted for Sincere and Melanie either A, because they think they have chemistry, or B, because they really like Melanie. And there's two issues with that. The people who voted for Sincere and Melanie because of chemistry don't understand the definition of compatibility. America can never vote to answer the question. That's not what they asked. That's not what they asked. And voting for Melanie itself is now an issue because Melanie's going to think that we love her and Sincere together. She was always going to go back, but now she's going back with the purpose. She's going back with the purpose. That wasn't.
Oh, you guys, please like and hype the live. Please, please, please hype it because my manager told me that the live that we did 2 weeks ago, the one where I was a little bit upset and I had to calm down, that live, had I made this show categorized on YouTube as a a podcast, and I have to go. She's been telling me for like 4 months now, categorize Bluecentric Live as a podcast because it is a podcast. I will do that. Well, she hit me up and said, Blue, had you fucking did it, well, she was nicer about it. Had you done it, you were hyped so much, you would have been on the leaderboard. So please hype the video because apparently we're doing something special here. And shout out for YouTube. They highlighted me last week for one of their up and coming new talents. And again, guys, for anybody who's a content creator, YouTube is highlighting me as an up and coming talent. And we're on the leaderboard for hypes and whatnot with only 50,000 followers. I need y'all to understand we're not in the age of having to have millions of followers to have impact. People care more about substance than popularity. Okay? I'm going to keep drilling this in because so many of you DM me. People care more about substance than popularity. If you have substance, if you have what we call a value add, and you are adding value to the marketplace consistently, that speaks higher than just you having a bunch of followers. Don't let the number of likes like scare you from trying. Think about the value of the person is getting from liking your stuff, right? It's a paradigm shift. It used to be if you weren't saying shit, but you had 8 million followers, you'd be good. Now you could have under 100K and be thriving. I feel like at least once a week I have to make that reminder because so many up and coming content creators watch this show. But let me let her cook because close the villa, open the schools. That is, I'm going to find this young lady and hit her up because that is a bar.
Rigged. That might have actually been America's vote.
Yeah.
Justice for Corbin. Justice for Corbin. Justice for Corbin. Justice for Corbin. All down that hill. And Kata, you and Zach can actually go next, right behind Kenzie and Dylan. Yeah.
Kata is getting a lot of slack because the promo clip is, by the way, I have a theory about that. Kata is getting slack because the promo clip for tonight's episode that we're all going to jump off to watch in an hour is her saying, why wasn't it KC? I know that Trinity and the other girls are talking shit about KC. Them choosing to highlight Kata and Zach, I honestly feel like because they want Bryce and Trinity to win, they realize if Corbin and Parmida are gone, everybody who voted for Corbin and Parmida are going to now vote for KC. Because KC made it into the top 4, because I looked at the metrics. I think he might have even made it to the top 3. Because KC made it to the top 4, they know that the only way to stop KC and TiTi from catching up to Bryce and Trinity is to get rid of Kata and Bryce. I mean, Kata and Zach. So it's not lost on me that Kata and Zach had the inflammatory edit. They're trying to get rid of Kata and Zach in order to make sure that Bryce and Trinity win, y'all. Mark my fucking words as someone who's worked in this industry for a very long time and is often a part of those meetings when we're planning some shit. I've signed an NDA, I can't say more than that. As someone who's been in those meetings, they are trying to get y'all to get mad at Kata and Bryce because they've been identified as the weakest link of the core 4 so that all their votes go to Trinity and Bryce so that they guarantee that KC and TiTi won't win. Yes, they are being sacrificed, guys. I was born with chess pieces in my fucking lapel. Like, I'm clear about this. And so it's not, I was like, I know all them girls talk shit about KC and TiTi. Why did y'all pick Trinity's sidekick? right? Because Kata is Trinity's sidekick, and what's his name? Zach is Bryce's sidekick. This is so nasty at this point. It's starting to feel like the 2024 election, child. This is a little triggering.
Yeah, because you clearly don't want to see it. Zach has not taken you anywhere but the hideaway, and he didn't even want to take you there. And after we don't vote,
you can't hype my video until the video's over. So I should have said that. I'm so sorry. Hyping is something you do after the video's over. So once the live is over, then you can go hype it. Thank you for trying that. I appreciate it.
On a board at all. One of the first things you want to ask is why I wasn't at KC. Yeah, you can go with that, man.
Kind of like say how you feel. Like they do like.
Now, for those of you who are like, Blue, you and all your cronies with all these conspiracy theories, and I'm thinking by cronies, you mean people who work in the industry? Who better than to call? Mind you, I need y'all to understand how confrontational I am. Access Hollywood is run by the same people who run Love Island. I spent the day with NBC Universal people and said, hey, y'all, I got to go home now and talk shit about Love Island. And they were like, oh, okay. I looked everybody in their face and said, I'm going home right now to talk shit about y'all show. Y'all good? Thank you for having me. All right, good talk. I need you to understand I'm that level of confrontational. They were lovely, by the way. Everybody at Access Hollywood was lovely. But that's just to say, nothing I'm saying is something that I wouldn't say to the producers themselves if they were in the room, right? And because of how this industry works, some of them might have been in that room. And let me be clear, we all know how the sausage is made. And so I have this clip for those of you who are not familiar with Hollywood or reality television, or who live in Middle America and you don't watch these kind of shows and you're only just watching it because you like this channel and this happens to be what's popular this summer. I'm going to show you a montage of previous Love Island America guests. So y'all can't say, oh, that's just the UK, it's Australia. No, this is the Americans, right? We're going to show clips of previous Love Island USA contestants confessing the producers like to tamper with them. And everybody loves Leah, so I'm starting with her.
Check-ins.
Yeah.
And like during those check-ins, like they would be like, oh, like Miguel told me that he doesn't see a future with you outside of this, and like, but you know, other people did. And I'm like,
and it was a lie.
Yes, because after that, and when I told Miguel, he was like, I literally never said that. Me and Melanie.
Did you hear what she just said? They were lying to her to get her to break up with or feel some kind of way about Miguel. Because her and Miguel were not supposed to have the winning edit because her and Rob were supposed to be a thing. And it was a whole thing about her and the sexy Middle America corn-fed white boy. And her getting with a swirly Brit was not part of the plan. Are you seeing a pattern here? That whenever there's a person of color who, one too many, because you can't have two people of color together unless it's a Serena and Cordell that sneaks under the radar, right? So when a person of color is about to give another person of color, they like to throw in a white person just to shake it up to make sure that Middle America doesn't turn off the TV.
Had a lot of conversations and they never showed that. We had a lot of conversations. And I mean, like, we were cool, you know, we obviously kept things like very cordial.
So the thing about the producers is like, they will never make you do something you don't want to do, but they would like suggest something like, hey,
they would never make you do something you don't want to do, but they will suggest something. And by suggest, she means they will gaslight you into a reality that makes you reactive. They won't tell you what to do because that's against the law to some degree, but they will gaslight you into doing something reactive, which to me is even worse because now you're not consenting, right? If they tell you what to do and you consent, that's more empowered than them tricking you into a false reality that makes you react. I actually think that's worse, to be honest.
like it seemed like, you know, Kenny hurt your feelings yesterday. Did you want to go talk to someone else instead? And I was like, no, people hurt feelings. And I mean, he's like, okay, well, like, you know, I know you would want to vent to Serena, but why don't you vent to like someone else? I'm like, no, that's my girl.
For those who didn't watch that season, Miguel is the British version of Corbin. He was the British Corbin. He was the most successful bombshell of that season. Right? Love Island loves a tall, bright-skinned, curly-haired somebody with a weird voice. So just, and by weird, I'm being facetious. There's nothing weird about the British accent.
I need to vent to her. Like, they try to like make you do that. It's like, okay, well, just let you know, I think you should do this instead. Because I'm like, thanks for your opinion, but no, nice.
Y'all want to know something crazy? You're saying you can't watch UK Love Island because they treat Black women so badly. I agree. I actually stopped watching UK Love Island because they treated Black women so badly. And now I'm about to stop watching American Love Island unless something changes because they treat Black men so badly. It's almost like I love black people regardless of gender. Crazy, right? Doesn't make me a pick me, just makes me pro-black. Just saying.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I was putting time out in the villa.
She was.
No word of a lie.
No, guys, we would talk, and we got in a lot of trouble because Liv was putting time out because we couldn't stop talking.
I was literally, as a 22-year-old, sent up to the top where like Soul Ties was. Like I was waving to everyone down there. Hey, they sent our producer up to tell me to turn around and face the wall because
they put her on a timeout. Like these children are being treated like children. Like they're being treated like actual children.
I was talking too much and distracting people. Yep. I had to sit like this after a challenge, facing the wall, because I was distracting everyone. Like,
I can say I got pied way more than what they shown. I'll say that.
Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. I will give production some bail in saying it's a 24-hour-a-day broadcast for them that has to be turned into a 1 hour, 5 times a week broadcast for us. They can't show everything. So that clip previously that says, oh, look at this moment that there was a conversation between Casey and Caleb that we didn't see. They can't show us every conversation. So let's be fair, right? They can't show us everything. However, it's different from keeping out pertinent information that completely changes the narrative. Leaving out mundane conversations between Casey and Caleb is very different than slicing out context that makes people look humane and de-incentivizes the audience from sending them hate. So many people that have been hated because of what's been left out. But here's the part that you're not picking up. So many people are loved because of what they left out. I can't shake the niggling feeling that the person who would be despised the most if the edit was revealed would be Anaya, Trinity, and Bryce. I can't even explain why. I have a deep sense of knowing that Trinity and Bryce and Anaya are all benefiting from the edit and what's been left out. You're gonna be like, but Blue, what do you mean Anaya? Anaya's been polarizing. No. Think about this. Polarizing means there's two sides that are going against each other who are feeding an algorithm because they're going against each other, right? Polarizing is a balance. To be polarizing, you have to be nasty enough to piss some people off, but still have enough redeeming qualities for others to relate to you. It's a dance. I think Anaya, without the edit, would have not been polarizing. She would have just given everybody the ick. I think that they showed just enough to piss off adults who believe in not having verbal abuse be a way of communicating, but they kept just enough in to appease the younger girls who think that just because they relate to her mess that it's okay. I will die on this hill. I think unedited Anaya, unedited Trinity, and unedited Bryce are smug, way more smug than what we've even seen.
There was a moment where Liv and I were crying so hard, and they were like, hold on, cameras aren't rolling. Can you hold this? And me and Liv freaked out. We said I would lose it.
This is why they got my vote. Because look at these expressions.
Now let's talk about what happened after the whole world got over Corbin being put out just when people were starting to come around to him. Because there were tons of people who did not like Corbin, and then he grew on them. Then there were folks who liked him since day one. Then there are folks who said, you know what? I forgive him because I see his point of view. The Corbin, a lot of people found different routes to enjoying, or at the very least, giving Corbin credit. What people did not expect, though, last night was to watch people's masks fall off in the villa when it was revealed that Casey and TiTi were in America's top picks. The way, Trinity, this is breaking my heart because you were one of my favorites in the beginning. The sneer that Trinity had. Because I feel like, and I'm gonna actually show Anaya some credit. Anaya was not sneering. Anaya was just shocked. Even if she and Trinity have the same sentiments, at least her face just showed pure shock. Trinity, Zach, and Kata looked disgusted. The kind of disgust that comes when a bully thinks you're dead and you somehow start twitching to get back up. It was gross. I don't use the B word often. That moment just re-solidified what I had already been seeing. It was nasty. Like, how dare you love him? How dare you show him any kindness? How dare anybody like you? We thought that we were the faves, and therefore what we say goes. And if we give you lashings, you are undeserving of love. Do you know how nasty it is? Pause for a second. Bigger than Love Island. Pan out. Do you know how nasty it is to think someone is undeserving of love? Do you know how mean and malicious it is to move as if someone is undeserving of even the most basic level of affirmation and acknowledgement?
They low-key, they got my fucking vote. These two right here. And look at their facial expressions, bro. They been through some shit in that villa. They up there.
When they realized that there was going to be a dumping, and one by one,
and y'all know I haven't fucked with Speedy since he did that interview with what's his name, Ace. But I was in the bathroom when this started playing, and I had to hear the rest of it because my hands were wet because I was washing my hands. And I'll give him some credit. This actually makes sense.
they were revealing which couples were safe, and then they said, based on compatibility, the last couple that is safe is Casey and TiTi. And everybody's jaw dropped. And I wanted to one by one put my hand under everybody's chin, right above.
Naya has not been defending my. What do you mean, y'all king? First of all, I don't have a king, so I don't know what you're talking about. If you're trying to be snarky, not too fucking much because you might get blocked. But we don't have a king. You mean Anaya was verbally abusive to someone and then apologized and showed that she was apologetic by being kind afterwards? How's that a sad day for Black people that two Black people can apologize to each other and improve their behavior? So you think verbal abuse is good, but improved behavior after accountability is bad? What do you think that says about you? Let's keep playing the video.
Their clavicle and lift their jaw up. Because what the fuck are y'all so shocked about? I don't care if you like them, or if you love them, or if you hate them. KC and TiTi are compatible. Forget everything else. I don't care about how you feel about them. Let's be objective. They're very clearly compatible. They're clearly on the same page. So why was everybody so shocked? And you don't want to get me talking about compatibility, because although we had to send Corbin and Parmida home, I'll die on this hill. Corbin and Parmida are even more compatible to me than Zach and Kata. That's my opinion.
I actually agree that Corbin and Parmida are more compatible than Zach and Kata. Have you guys noticed that all we ever see of Zach and Kata and Bryce and Trinity is them having meetings about how good couples they are, as far as if they're having a meeting about winning the game and not just enjoying each other as people? It's very bizarre.
Corbin and Parmida are more on the same wavelength than Zach and Kata. So Zach and Kata over there surprised they're not safe. Stink, y'all not even the top 5 most compatible in there to me. It's at least 2 couples in there. Actually more. You're not more compatible. I can't even think about what I'm saying. Y'all get the fucking point. As soon as they said the vote tonight will be based off your fellow Islanders, I ran in the closet and grabbed Corbin and Parmida's suitcases for them.
Damn.
Because, honey, they did not stand a fucking chance.
Tiara and Casey.
Look at his face.
Look at their faces.
Look at his face. That's why. And I know what. We like them. We fuck with them.
I'm gonna tell you this, and for those of you who are misandrists, for those who don't know, a misandrist is just the female version of being a misogynist. Do you think that your gender is the only one deserving of kindness, compassion, or care? So misogynists think that they're the only ones who deserve compassion, care, and respect. Misandrists think that women are the only ones who deserve it. I think you both suck as a group. I think both groups suck, because I like all people, who, especially my people, right? So if I say I love Black people, it's not just women. If I say I love Black people, it's not just men. If I say I love Black people, it's not just straight folks, right? I actually love my people and ride for my community, even those of you I would invite to my fucking house. And so because I'm not a misandrist, I'm not dizzy enough to think that KC having a penis means he's not a human being. Sorry for those of you who have been failed. And because of that, gender neutral, do you know how shitty you must have thought America thought about you for you to be this stunned. The way that TiTi and Casey were stunned that anybody liked them enough to vote for them because of how they're being treated in the villa broke my heart. And by the way, TiTi's a woman, so you can't call me a pick me because there's a woman involved, okay? You mental giants. So it's heartbreaking that this couple of two people who are highly compatible, have apologized for any mistakes they've been, have been an asset to the fucking villa. Everybody who left last week was on After Sun talking about how they're one of the strongest couples in real life, despite the edit that doesn't want to show black on black love. Y'all love to talk about black on black crime, but y'all hate to show black on black love, right? Because it's two black people and they're not paired with a white person or a swirly person. God forbid you show two black people loving each other. Because this is a black on black love situation. They were allowed to be mistreated even by other black people in a way that other couples that are mixed race would not be treated. And it breaks my heart that they were this stunned that outside of those fucking walls, America actually has people who care about them. Y'all, I'm never going to be okay with this. Do you know how nasty you have to be as a person to applaud someone feeling this shitty when their greatest crime was talking like a young dummy and picking another girl that he was more compatible with? That means your brother deserves nothing, right? What's gagging me is many of you have brothers who are worse than KC, who you want to see happy, but you want this young man to be flogged. It's bizarre times, bruh. It's bizarre.
That's why they getting my fucking vote, because look at this. They was shocked themselves. They was shocked themselves. Like, what? Y'all can't tell me? Fuck the past. They got chemistry. They really like each other. I don't care about everybody shocked, but look at this. That's what.
Yeah, I hope everybody, yes, Anaya, yes, Melanie, yes, Trinity, yes, Kata, yes, I don't know about Bryce and Zach. Bryce and Zach can actually kiss my ass. But everybody but Bryce and Zach, I sincerely, with them I just feel apathy. I'm not going to lie about well wishes that I don't mean. But for everybody except for Zach and Bryce, I sincerely wish them maturity and a safe place to land when they come out. Everybody. This show has been cruel this season. When I say that I'm not sure I'm coming back, I'm not just saying that as one of those content creators who says that so it's provocative when I do come back. No, there's a 75% chance I'm not watching Love Island America or covering it next year. 75% chance. Unless something drastically changes, this might be my last season doing this because this was disgusting. And I also miss respecting y'all, right? So, yeah.
But I got my vote. What the fuck is you talking about? Like, yeah.
I hated everyone's reaction when they found out Casey and TiTi was in the top 4 of the most compatible couples. Because what are y'all so surprised about? Why are y'all acting like the 3 couples that was up there wasn't as compatible? And you know what? It's always Trinity and Kata. Trinity's entire face became angry. The fact that her whole entire...
It's always Trinity and Kata because they are male-centered and their men hate to see anybody else make it to the top 4. And their men have been lying to everybody to get people to hate them. So even though the 2 black women are being blamed for it, the masterminds are Zach and Bryce.
Your mood was soured when you knew there was a possibility that you were going to save them anyway. What the fuck are you mad at? Because I think that y'all forget that not only...
By the way, can we just admit that KC and TiTi have shown more grace when they thought they were losing than Anaya has shown when she thought she was winning? Gasp. KC and TiTi have shown more decorum, restraint, and respect. Yes, respect. When they thought they were losing, than Anaya has shown when she thought she was up. The girls who get it, the ones who don't.
Only are the cameras on y'all, but the entire fucking country is watching you. Every day except for Wednesdays and Saturdays. So, of course, our opinion on y'all's relationship would be very different than y'all think about each other. Hell, I don't even know why Casey and Tiara was surprised themselves. But I knew when Casey hit that it was nice, already felt like he was getting his ass in the bottom. But see, only somebody who's getting so much damn hate would say something like that. Because they're already preparing for the worst. And once again, God keeps preparing a table in front of these motherfuckers because they keep on playing in their face. All that smiling and laughing they be doing in Casey and Tiara face and then turn around and be mad that they're the top 4 couple that's compatible is the fake shit I'm talking about.
By the way, I do agree after this season, everybody who has been extra nasty has been either Zach and Bryce, who I think are the devil of the show, or the younger girls who are just excited about being part of something bigger than them. And I do believe when Parmida said the reason why her and TiTi and some of the other girls are a little bit more balanced is because of age and maturity. And so I will give these girls some bail where I hope that them at 22, I hope Trinity at 22 will make Trinity at 25 cringe. I really sincerely do hope that 3 years from now, when Trinity's older, she'll look back and be like, oh, I played that wrong. Even if I won, I played that wrong. I hope, because I would hate to think that it's going to be one of those situations where somebody's a donkey while they're still developing, and because they become famous while being a donkey, they get stuck there. That's also a thing, guys. Sometimes fame creates arrested development. They often say that it's better to get famous later in life because you might get stuck at the age you become famous. The people who became famous when they were 9, they're now 60, still acting like they're 9. Sometimes fame is a freeze frame. Right? Fame becomes a freeze frame. Wherever you are, you get stuck there. That's why I always think to myself, like, damn, thank God social media wasn't around for me to be talking all this shit when I was 20. Me at Trinity's age, I was an asshole. I was a fucking asshole at 22. So, but again, though, you're like, well, Blue, if you're a fucking asshole, then why are you holding the girls accountable? Because somebody had to hold me accountable. It's my turn to pay back what I got. The only reason I'm not still an asshole is because somebody held me accountable. I think a lot of people think that when older women are holding girls like Kata and Trinity accountable, it's because we're haters and move over, you old bitch, you millennials. No, it's because we know how cringe you're going to find this. If you're lucky enough to be my age, you're going to be like, oh shit, bitch, I get it. I'm trying to speed up the process for you and save you a couple of years of looking stupid. How's that anything but love? And I think that's the saddest thing about this season of Love Island is love gets mistaken for hate, while abuse gets mistaken as feminism. I don't like that.
They don't have no friends in that damn villa. Now that Parmida and Corbin are gone, they have nobody that they can talk to. Or better yet, trust. And you have to think about it. When you have 4 couples standing next to one to save, and you're the only 2 standing next to one, just know that is a divided house. And there's Casey and Tiara, and there's them. I'm just pissed off in the next episode that Kate is going to be talking to Trinity, talking about some why not Casey. Bitch, worry about your couple and worry about why America doesn't think you and Zach is compatible. You're too busy focused on other people's damn couple and not focused on your own. That's why your ass is in the bottom 3. Again, not focused on being compatible and focused on being messy.
Y'all really have no smoke for the Villa girls calling him out his name.
Now let's pause for a second. As we approach the finale on Sunday, and like I said, I will be here Sunday night. Right the minute the finale's over, I'll be here on live. Immediate. We did this last year too. The minute the finale is over, we're going live. I'll probably be fast forwarding a lot because I don't want to see the fucking dates. So I might be here a little bit earlier than the finale ends, to be perfectly honest, right? I need us to sit with this before the season ends on Sunday. What has happened with the abilities of people to receive and retain inconvenient information since Trump became president concerns me. Somebody posted in the comments, oh my God, how did Blue go from having the best take, all the best takes last year to having weird takes this year? My takes didn't change. If my logic and framework, the same logic and framework I've been working from since most of the people chastising me have been alive. If I've been using the same logical framework for 20 plus years and nothing has changed, and yet suddenly I sound crazy to you, what does that tell you? I'm not being facetious. If everything about me has been consistent for 20 years and there's timestamps and archives and receipts upon receipts of me saying the way I'm talking now is the way you'll see videos of me talking in 2010. If I have not changed in my framework for 20 years and yet suddenly I sound stupid to you, what do you think happened? And I'm not pointing this out or pausing here to belabor the point. I'm saying that those jokes about how some of the Love Island fans are becoming MAGA and becoming resistant to inconvenient truths because they're too busy being tribalistic to listen to just basic reasoning and logic that they might have been open to a couple years earlier. This is a prime example of that. You thought I had the best takes last year when I was talking about Huda And yet when I take the exact same logic and put it on Anaya, suddenly I'm a pick me, even though the logic hasn't changed. The logic has not changed at all. I'm so concerned.
Mind y'all lost y'all top last year when Huda was around here flying with the B words. But it's no, you better watch those B words for the Villa girls who literally can't see what's wrong with their own men. We've got Zach the real villain, Sincere the real villain, but those are the people calling KC a B word. This is we live in a very, very weird time, in a very weird world, and I don't get it.
I'm not surprised about Tiara and Casey being saved, because at the end of the day, every time y'all try to do a hate train on a Black Islander, it always backfires in your face.
Can we put this out? It doesn't matter if it's a vulva, a penis, or a gender non-conforming body part attached to it. Anytime you attack a Black person on Love Island USA, there's going to be pro-Black people in America watching who are going to revolt, even if it's a man. I think that's what people are not realizing. We're caping for KC the way we cape for any Black person that we think has been wronged. I just think that the issue is the algorithm has created so much gender wars that y'all think that people in real life actually dehumanize folks just because they're a different gender. Y'all have believed that everybody is like a middle school dance where boys on one side and girls on the other side. So it's fucking with a lot of you that there are women who don't hate men and who only hate misogyny, even when they find it in other women. Sit with that. I'm being so sincere right now. I think the algorithm has convinced you that only boys vote for boys and only girls vote for girls. And now you're having to pan out to realize that outside of your Wi-Fi service, in the real world, there are still Black people who love each other of different genders and gender identities. It is mind-blowing, y'all, that outside of these echo chambers, we still care about each other.
I hope you understand that. I hope you understand that. KC has now apologized multiple times. He has taken accountability. He has said he is wrong. He has pulled Anaya, told her he was sorry. They've decided to be cool. Anaya has accepted the apology. That's what a lot of y'all are missing. Anaya has accepted the fucking apology.
Casey's red pill. What is Anaya? I want more for you. Casey's red pill. What is Anaya? Great. Check. Casey's red pill because he liked the Kevin Samuels post 5 years ago. Great. Although that's not what red pill means. So you guys don't even know how to use these words correctly. What is Anaya then? Let's say I agree with you. Now what? What's Anaya? So are you saying that your brain stops at Casey being red pill and you can't think anything else? That's called being intellectually compromised, friend. I'm being so sincere right now.
Apology. And it's her apology to accept. So the fans and the other Islanders who continue to make it an issue, you're starting to look like a bunch of bullies and mean girls and haters because it's done and over with. They're off of it. It's been dragged far enough. This man has been demonized and now he has a large fan base that supports him because a lot of us can see the hypocrisy when it comes to these Islanders. Literally, it's insane because Kenzie, she's like a Sincere. And however, the girls don't really hold her accountable. They white glove her. You got Sincere himself, who has really received no lashings from the girls. He's getting more lashings from his boys.
Sincere talks more red pill than KC. So where's his smoke? Sincere is more disrespectful than KC. And yet Anaya says she's team Sincere. I thought that all you had to be was be red pill to be hated. Bet. Let's live in your world for a second. If all you have to be is red pill, by the way, y'all are using red pill incorrectly. It takes more than liking a random post to be red pill. But if all you have to be is red pill to be hated, and Sincere has said 10 times more red pill things on the record than KC has, that would mean Anaya would have to hate Sincere as well. And yet Anaya has repeatedly said, I don't care, I'm team Sincere. So if you call women who cape for a red pill pick-me's, and Anaya has proudly and repeatedly caped for Sincere, isn't Anaya a pick-me as well? By your standards, not mine. I'm living in your world. Anaya sucks, even including like your logic. Anaya is woefully confused, lost, and unintentionally abusive based on my logic, and she's a pick-me based on your logic. So what are we arguing about? We agree. Okay.
Corbin is the voice of reason when it comes to his behavior. The girls just don't give a fuck. You know why? Because the only reason why they were mad is because KC didn't pick up Naya. That's the only reason why they're mad. Because if they were really upset, had more, but they're not. So they all look like hypocrites, including Trinity. I know Trinity is very liked, but I have definitely lost a lot of like respect for her because I'm like, you gotta let this shit go, bro. Like it gets to a point where it's like, Anaya's over it. She's with Carl. I think that's a production plant, to be honest with you.
Imagine calling women who are defending KC from being verbally abused pick-me's while the person that they're defending is a bigger pick-me than we could ever be on our worst day. The jokes write themselves. I will say this, my hot takes always age beautifully, but y'all going out your way to make me look good next year. Y'all going out your way.
I don't see that as a real relationship, especially after tonight when he made a comment on all the girls being very attractive and how Kata is stunning. I'm like, oh, you would have explored if you had a chance. The only reason why you're with Anaya is because you got pushed in that couple. Yeah, that's the same thing that happened with Anaya and Casey and a lot of these couples. Anyways, so now this
for being fair. You see, this person said these lashes are deserved. I fear, even though Anaya is my number one client. Thank you for being fair. We don't want you to not love Anaya the same way we don't want people to stop loving KC because everybody is deserving of love. We just want you to be fucking fair. You see how you can say you love Anaya, and I have no issue with that. I only have issue with bad logic, not with loving on black kids. I have no issue with you loving Anaya.
This man has a large fan base of people who do not like hypocrisy, that don't like the public lynching of a black man, and that are going to support him. And that's why he's now safe. And
yes, guys, and for those who are members, go to the members only area. We did a 100-minute video breaking down how Bryce and KC are the true villains of the season. Shout out to all the members. That video is full of receipts, and I'll be reaching out to Tina to see if she can come on the show. So yes, for anybody who knows that Bryce and Zach, I can't remember Zach's name for some reason today, are the true villains. If you want something to show your friends, go to the members area and grab that video. It's their picture right on the cover. You can't miss it. The breakdown is extensive. By the time the breakdown's over, you have to be just on some bullshit not to admit that Bryce and Zach are the problem.
Same thing happened to Alandria and Shelly last season. Like, y'all gotta stop doing this hate train shit, because you're really gonna help those people who are on a hate train and people do not like that type of shit. They're gonna stay.
Yeah.
So I'm here for it because I don't like the bullying and I don't like the hate train, and I don't feel like this man deserved the amount of like hate and just verbal abuse he got from the other Islanders for Sincere to not get shit. That's when I was like, oh, I'm off of a lot of these Islanders, a lot of these girls, and this season's weird as fuck, because that man, you had Corbin of all people being like disgusted with his behavior because he's like, this is a huge...
Y'all call Corbin red pill, so what do you call it when even Corbin's disgusted? Y'all call Corbin red pill, and even Corbin, who y'all call red pill, is disgusted by Sincere's behavior. Bruh.
Character flaw as a friend, not as a partner, as a friend as well. Corbin, the only one really holding that motherfucker accountable, and the rest of the girls are like, I'm team Sincere. Like, I don't give a fuck how you feel, Melanie. I'm team Sincere, especially Anaya. That's when I was like, yeah, I can't. Mm-mm.
I have a theory that Anaya is still jealous that Sincere chose Melanie, and so she's team Sincere because she's gonna get some kind of sick subconscious glee from watching Sincere dog Melanie instead of her. I've been biting my tongue, but I felt this since day one. If you get this has happened to me, was chosen by a boy that my friend liked in high school, and the minute she heard that he and I were having problems, she became his biggest fan.
I don't. Yeah, this cast ain't for me.
Love Island, tonight's episode. Let's talk about it, because what the heck was that? Why is Kenzie still in that villa?
I'm gonna go get a drink, guys. I'm so thirsty from all that talking on Access Hollywood, so I'm gonna let this play.
Why is Kenzie still in that villa? I feel like this season producers have gotten their hands all up in the mix, and I know they've been known to do that in the past, but I think this season is worse than ever because they're not even trying to make it realistic anymore, and it's so irritating and annoying. But anywho, let's talk about it. Kenzie and Dylan, they should have been left, and they're still there. I don't understand why. Kenzie having a conversation with Melanie, and Melanie saying like, I don't feel like you're my best friend, but you're calling me your best friend because I feel like we drifted apart, especially referencing when Soul was in there. I've dealt with a lot of white women. Not all of them are like this, but I don't buy the white women tears that Kenzie has been, shedding. over the last few episodes. I think Kenzie getting closer to Soul at that point, I don't think that was to comfort Soul. I think that was out of spite for Melanie, because remember, she was shading her at that time because Melanie was coupled up with Corbin. But y'all can go back and watch that if you think I'm lying. Just my opinion. I don't like the fact that producers made Anaya and Carl sit down first and Casey and Trinity sit down last. I think there was some mental fuckery there, and some of y'all might think that this is a stretch, but I don't like that. I felt like that was really, really weird. And I know she did say in no particular order, but still. Melanie and Sincere being sad and being shocked, I feel like they think that, you know, America likes them as a couple because they were condoning that behavior. I'm sorry. Some of y'all like them. I'm not condoning and I'm not rewarding bad behavior. So they need to leave. Sincere saying that I don't agree with Parmida calling us, you know, a toxic couple. Sweetie, what else? Y'all are a toxic couple. You mess up today. She cries about it. You apologize. She forgives you. The next day you do the exact same thing. You're good 1 minute. You're not good the next minute. That's what we call a toxic relationship and very unhealthy. So again, y'all need to leave. But like I said, I think producers is going to try to get them to the end. Because why are they still there? Casey and TiTi being told to sit down and everybody's shocked. Like everybody in the villa was shocked. But Trinity's comment, what? What's tea? What's tea? What is it? Leave them alone. But I think they were really shocked because they did not realize how much the public actually rocked with TiTi and Anaya and Casey. And you know, we rock with them. It really made me sad to just watch Casey freeze up because you could tell Casey genuinely felt like the public hated him because he's been so beat down in that villa. I'm not saying that Casey's perfect, so don't come in my comments try to talk about like, well, he did A, B, C, D, and E, the whole disrespectful comment, please. Because y'all were on hell bent about the fact that this man called her grandma, and you guys were creating some crazy allegations, and that lady basically got on there when that whole scene came out, and she was like, but I just like to sleep. It was very lighthearted for her. But anywho, I digress.
By the way, I don't care if this is unpopular opinion. The grandma comment was not disrespectful to me. It wasn't. Distasteful at best. It was not disrespectful. These words are whooping some of y'all's asses. It's not disrespectful to call somebody who sleeps early a grandma and then they laugh and call them and say, I like to sleep early. That's not disrespect. That's an analogy. An accurate one according to her. Just want to point that out. And as far as Sincere telling Melanie, we're not a toxic couple, I just had some toxic moments. My heart breaks for Melanie. My heart is proactively breaking for Melanie because she will know no rest as long as she's with Sincere. No rest. And she, mark my words, if Melanie and Sincere stay together for more than 6 months, it's not because he got better, it's because she learned how to lie to us. I've been in that situation before where the person that everybody hates, you think that proving the world wrong means more than your psychological safety. And so you stick around and sit through bullshit just to prove that you made a good investment. And then eventually you have to admit, shit, I had it wrong all along. I just didn't want to admit it. She's just going to learn how a lot of what's better. And I pray to God that Melanie finds someone else. No, that's it. I was going to give another option, but that's it. I just pray she finds somebody else.
It was really sad to see him freeze up because I genuinely think he thinks that, you know, the public hates him. And I can't wait for them to come out, both him and TiTi, and realize just how much, like, they were a good number of people rooting for them. Like, the Black community rallied behind them. Not everyone, because I saw many of you guys' weird comments. I saw you guys, some of you guys, making TiTi to look like a man. Very, very weird.
Oh, no, not on this fuck-ass show. I mean, like, in real life. The show's over. Show's over on Sunday. I hope that Melanie finds a good man in real life because she deserves it.
Weird. Very, very strange, by the way. Like, very strange. But I cannot wait for them to come out and to just see how much support and love they actually got, even though in the villa it seemed like everybody was against them. Yeah. I like the fact that TiTi also stood 10 toes down on standing behind Parmida and Corbin. They were like, you know what? We were going to stand behind
TiTi, Casey, Parmida, and Corbin are true friends that are not based on clout because they didn't have any. These 4 people recognized they were on the outs. They were not part of the core 4 or the main clique. They assumed America probably hated them, and they still just enjoyed each other and decided to be lovely and have a good time despite knowing that there was no external validation probably coming their way. Do you know how sincere, pun not intended, you have to be that lovely in the middle of all that bullshit? I'm gonna be honest. I think what happened between Anaya and KC matured KC, and I pray it matures Anaya. I think Anaya is the kind of girl who, unfortunately, and this is something a lot of us can relate to, so this is not me coming down on her, it's me just being fair. Anaya is the kind of, and she's a Virgo, so I know this to be true about Virgos in general. Anaya can only learn from failure, not from success. There are some people in this world, when they win, they become smug. It's not till they lose that they listen. And I fear that because of the echo chamber in the villa, it's not going to be until Anaya comes out and hears the points of those who are not caping for her behavior, where she finally might have a real opportunity to grow the fuck up. I know that KC's been rejected left, right, and center in the villa, so he's already had that opportunity while we're in the show. But I think Anaya's turn to actually have a true redemption arc and not just have the producers pulling her aside because she's fucking up their story. I think that's not going to happen until after the finale.
Behind our friends, regardless of who stood behind them or not. I also saw in a sneak peek of next week, tomorrow's episode, you know, Kata saying like, why not KC? Because you and your boyfriend are about to be kicked out of the villa. That's why.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Do you want to know why Love Island UK will always be superior?
Now, let me tell you this, guys. I have to say, I'm going back to the UK. I know America just turned 250 a couple of days ago. Sorry. I don't want to be a turncoat, but I fear the same. Like I said before, if you came in late, I said before, I left watching the UK because I could not stomach how they were treating Black women. Now America's about to lose me because of how they are treating Black men. Could it be I just like Black people and I'm not a pick-me? Yes. So yeah, y'all. I think for those of you who don't know why I'm going back to watching the UK, mind you, I've been watching the UK for almost about a decade now, because since it's season 1. The reason why I'm going back to the UK is, even though the UK is known for being messy and everything else that a reality show is, there's one rule they haven't broken that Love Island USA has repeatedly broken, and it's one rule too many.
In US, whether it fits their narrative or not, the UK producers are always just gonna go with whatever the fucking decision is, stick to it. No games, no ways to work around for their own personal narratives. Like they are.
Yes, we're gonna do the Ace, Shelly, and Adriana situation. For the sake of time, we might pause at 9 Eastern to watch the show and come back. I'm not sure yet. We're going to take a vote. If do you guys want me to go all the way through to the end of the live and just start Love Island 15 minutes late, or do you want me to come back? We'll vote on that in a second.
Are going to do what needs to be done, whether it's comfortable or not. If this were UK, it would simply be whoever got the least amount of votes, you're getting dumped. You're getting dumped. You're getting dumped. UK has spoken. And it happens multiple times per season. But this is like the 3rd year in a row where our votes literally just don't matter at all, because if they see the results and it's not what they want, they're gonna do some fuck shit to make sure that the people that we don't want in that villa stays in there for their own storyline.
Yeah.
That shit, bullshit. Are you kidding me? Because what if Kenzie had the least amount of votes? They weren't gonna dump her ass. They weren't gonna dump her ass. And as I am well aware, at this point in any season, it's always Friendship Island. Like, you want to have those allies for times like this.
No Monday Night Live, because we were going to cover Real Housewives of Atlanta, and there's no Real Housewives of Atlanta yesterday, so there's nothing to cover. So yeah, we did not have it because we didn't want to. There's nothing to cover.
But now we've low-key lost one of the realest and most objective people that can just tell it how it is. And ironically, Kata is out here still talking mess about KC, why it's not KC when Sincere is right next door. Y'all have got to get a grip. The question was compatibility. Y'all are weird. Y'all are so weird for this. Zach, all those boohoo tears, his game ain't working. He don't know what to do now. They see. I hate how Kata keeps losing me more and more every episode. As being my number 2 client, it was always Trinity Kata.
By the way, guys, this is another example of how you can be exceptional, and having a horrible partner or a lame partner or a whack-ass partner completely brings down your stock. And it's valid, by the way. You are what you eat. Yes?
How she could fall so hard in my brain is just, I'm gagged. I'm so ready for the season to be over. Give Trinity the money, wrap this shit up. We know what's going on. And y'all bitches that keep voting for Mel and Sincere, I know y'all love it. Like, y'all eat that shit up. That is, you don't care about Melanie at all. Y'all don't care about Melanie.
Nobody who loves Melanie wants her with Sincere.
Stop voting for the individuals. Vote for the fucking couple. Not the man that keeps talking about, oh, it's not a toxic relationship. I just do toxic things. Get this. I hate y'all. But you know what? Even if y'all did vote them the least, they'd still be in my villa. Whatever. I'm going to bed.
I'm already irritated, and I'm irritated from the preview for tomorrow, not from the show tonight. Kata gonna say, how is it not KC? Because we see what you and Zach got going on. When we see what KC got going on, baby, and it's not the same. First of all, your man been playing in and around you since episode 3 or whenever he came in and y'all got connected and you came in as a bombshell. He still ain't commit. Trinity round there hollering, I'm a girlfriend. She's still shocked because her and Bryce.
Well, not y'all telling people that y'all not gonna come to the function because you here, but we appreciate it though. And you know, as someone, when I start eating watermelon, it's one of my favorite hydrating fruits.
Still having the same conversation, how they ain't even each other type on paper. So they shocked that they done bamboozled America into getting them that far, and they still having that conversation. And you talking about how is it KC? How is it KC? We see him and TT's connection. You see how he's quiet, reserved, and she'll pipe up when she need to? That's called balance. You see how when he was saying they be laughing and snickering and laughing at the same inside jokes and just laughing at random shit? That's called compatibility. You and Zach, is no chemistry going on between y'all for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kata got me irritated about her last comment, how we been in here together since this time. That don't matter. That don't matter. We got eyes and we see. Come on now. And also the Villa girls, y'all's just so fake. Yeah. Kenzie gonna get up there and tell Mel, I'm sorry you didn't feel like. Nah, shout out to Kenzie. She was trying to bridge Soul into the group and everything because Soul was having a hard time. Whatever, got it.
By the way, I'm gonna say this while the young lady's talking. Kenzie is a masterclass about how to be a toxic white woman. She has mastered it. I don't know what part of the South she's from. That is some grade A white woman bullshit. Even other white women are starting to do videos calling out Kenzie. They're like, oh, girl, you're one of those. She's like pageant girl level of white girl bullshit. And I'm not going to say it's dangerous. I'm just going to say, thank God I don't think Kenzie would actually date a black man in the real world for a long term outside of wanting to win 50K and become famous. Because if she did, the way that she moves would be dangerous for a man of color dating her. Okay? So guys, here's the part now where we're supposed to do what's happening with Ace and Old Girl. I'm looking at the time. There's no way we're going to be able to do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave and come back. We're going to do a new live. We're going to start with Ace, okay? The new live is going to start with Ace and Adriana and a fresh hot take of what I'm about to watch on Love Island. I'm going to tell you, though, should it be members only? Can we take a vote? Because I'm worried. You know what we're going to do? It's going to be members only should it be members only or should it just be, let's take a vote, guys. Should it be members only or should it be, and shout out to the new members, by the way. Shout out to Jay Noir. Shout out to Farrah Floyd. Shout out to Takara H. Oh, I love this. Shout out to y'all. Guys, vote. Let's take a vote. Should it be members only or should it just be in the main room? Members. I'm seeing, oh God, it's half and half. Okay, members. You know what it's going to do? The live is going to be for members, and maybe tomorrow I'll release it after 24 hours after Tarot Tuesday. Yeah, we're going to do members only. So if you're not a member, you will be able to see the second live about Ace and Adriana and everything else, but it won't be in no time soon. Because I feel like my fresh reaction to this episode might be a little angry. Oh, God, I need to go eat an edible. All right, y'all. If this is the end of the road for you, we understand, and that's okay. Please consider being a member. There are instructions in the description box. If you're not a member, it's okay because we give you as much content as we can outside of the paywall. Please make sure that when we end this live, the comment that I want you guys to post is Corbin understood the assignment. That is the message I want in the replay comment section. Corbin understood the assignment. And also please hype the video because it definitely helps us find a new audience. And for those of you who are in the members area who will be coming back, just know I will be back in 90 minutes. And as soon as I'm done watching this, I'm going to be saying things. I might be in a caftan though. I might change into my pajamas, but I will be saying things about how I feel. Okay, guys? I love y'all so much. Thank you for watching. And until next time, bye, family.